Hello to all of you. Welcome to the Pisces New Moon video. I'm Carol, welcoming you to this gathering and appreciating very much the several friends and lunar lovers who have joined me this evening, the eve of the Pisces New Moon. And I feel like I have a little apology to give out to maybe a couple of you who might have gotten the email notice this morning that I said I'd send out to remind you of this evening's gathering. I completely forgot to remind you it was beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'm not quite sure if I lost anybody that way. And it wasn't until the middle of the afternoon this afternoon that I realized that I had done just that. So again, especially a welcome to anybody who has newly found out about these videos one way or another. Welcome back to some of you who may have watched them a year ago. This is the second year when I have been tasked, as Spirit will do, in creating these videos around the new moon, a very powerful part of Grandmother Moon's cycle, from new to full and to new again. And it's repeating it for those of you who have tuned in other times. I'm just going to adjust one thing here, make this work better for what I wanted to do. Okay, we've got that, I think. Well, maybe not. Let me fuss a little bit because it has been a long day and I just want to be sure that I have myself set to go with the recording that is in process here. So we're going to go back to this. Okay, got it. That's what we have. So as I was offering, for those of you who are less familiar with this, the whole idea about the new moon, and it is such a powerful part of the day, we don't even really realize it, that our connections with the moon for the fullness, we're also usually dazzled, as would be the case if there are no clouds, and it's one of those beautiful nights and it just beams down on us, sometimes keeping us awake for a good part of that night, could well be the case. Where the new moon is invisible to us, but it's in the sky all of the day in which it is new. So in the morning tomorrow, Sunday, March 10th, grandfather, sun, grandmother moon, as I say, will start doing their dance as they rise together into the sky. And it is this lunar energy, which is then so abundantly available, unless for people who work night shifts, which isn't really the case for most of the people I'm familiar with. So here we have that opportunity to be in touch with that new moon's energies. And given that each month there's a different sign of the new moon, for example, we're in the Pisces watery mystical energies of tomorrow's new moon. It's a wonderful energy to work with. And the other thing that we brought in this year, last month's video, and I think a number of you here and those of you watching this, joining our circle through the recording, hopefully saw the welcoming of the Lunar New Year, the year of the dragon. And we are bringing in the dragon energy for at least the several new moons to come as we go ahead. Tiny bit of housekeeping to say, and even though I have my notes, I'm a wee bit on the tired side tonight, and I'm not going to trust myself to necessarily remember this, that the new moon coming up next, and I don't think there's a single person who will be hearing this in the near future, isn't very excited about the April 8th total solar eclipse. For all of us living in North America, and especially in the Northeast, we have an opportunity to be intimately involved with its energies. It's one of the biggest lunar events of it's certainly the present time and for quite a time to come. It's a new moon in Aries. Other than just getting excited already with what's coming, what I can tell you is I am doubtful at this point that I will be doing any kind of a gathering by Zoom ahead of time. Things are already kind of filling in my schedule then. But what I'm looking at is a video, or rather a Zoom gathering and a video the day after the eclipse, a sort of an integration opportunity to come together. There's going to be so much offering itself to us for experiences, for whatever it is, just the sheer, it's such an incredible opportunity to be part of this cosmic dance of the earth and the moon, and the sun. And for those of us near enough to be literally in its line of darkness as it becomes the covering of the sun by the moon, we will be, and heaven knows that given the opportunity to see it live via video broadcast, there's all kinds of ways to be a part of that. So I wanted to put that on your calendar, so to speak, for a month from now and see where we end up. Seemed to me there, oh, well, one other thing, and again, I feel like there's a little bit more housekeeping to offer to you this month, and that is, depending on how you found this video or the connection to the work that I do, I've just reopened, you might say, but it's new to most of you, a new Facebook page that is dedicated to the beautiful elemental energies of the place that I call home here in my northwest corner of the Catskill Mountains, the place I call Light Spring Glen. And there is a new Facebook page. I will put its link in the notes below. All right, so what we won't be doing tonight, because I think if I tried to lead any kind of a meditation, I myself would fall asleep. It would get to be kind of a dull recording. One of you would have to find a way to jog me awake by that. Instead, we're going to concentrate on another wonderful part of what's coming our way. I'm not sure, and it's partly because I'm just a little bit less in full sails tonight. What I want to say about this moon's opportunity is that it is the first of 5 super new moons. You hear this term oftentimes, I think, around super full moons, but either way, it's the same. The moon itself is an approximation to the earth that's much closer. I don't have the miles to tell you what they are. You can Google it and find out. But that makes these new moons, the ones that are 5 times in a row, all the more available to us to work with their energies. I'm going to come back to how it is we might do that. But first of all, I want to bring back in what is an important aspect of the lunar cycles that we are in that have begun the previous new moon. And that is, we're in the year of the dragon. If you've not seen the video that introduced this to us and to one another in this group, the video is in my YouTube channel. Look for my full name if you haven't been there before, and you can look that up. But we concentrated on getting to know some dragons up close and personal. Not to repeat the story to you for this video, but I have I found my way to a beautiful deck of dragon cards, the work of an artist whose name is Val Young. I'm not sure by the time this video gets posted if one of these will turn up or not. And I misnumbered, I said the incorrect number of the number of cards in this incredible deck. I think I said 53. Well, I was very off. 96 beautiful dragon cards. And we pulled some, presented themselves to me last month to share with you. And we talked about how it is we can get to know the dragons seeking to work with us. This week, as I got things ready to come on board with those who are here tonight and the rest of you who are joining us via video, there are 2 cards. One came early in the week, and I want to present it to you now. And then the one that came out of the deck today to share with you. So here is the one that appeared during the week. And let me tell you, because the back of each card, Val worked for 15 years meeting these individual dragons and receiving a message from each. So let me tell you, these are lively cards. Here is the message from this beautiful dragon for the Pisces New Moon and for all of us here. I am, the dragon says, I am beyond all the journeys and adventures that you may have experienced with the dragons. I come to address directly those of you who have a dragon heritage. As you become aware of this, you may become aware of your own dragon light body. If and when you find me, portals and dimensions open and you will be with your family. The universe opens its heart to you and a new level of existence is now yours. Do you remember me now? And a number of us, I know for the recording, you're only seeing me, but a number of people in the studio audience tonight wore blue. And so, well, here it is. That's what we've got. What's wonderful about the recording is because these cards make other than just enjoying seeing what Val Young found out with this dragon and then did this wonderful painting, is that you can pause and meditate with that dragon. For those of you still seeking out your dragon, I'm going to give you some activities to do tomorrow or anytime within the near future of this wonderful Pisces new moon. So this is the card. Let me see if I've got this where you can see it well. Yes. I love the dragon. I'm going to try to get a focus on it here. Here's the card that came out today for us. Not to read to you, so let's see. Okay, here we go. I am the dragon of completion. As the cycle turns, as the circle turns, the cycle completes and a new spiral opens. Look ahead now to where you are going. The forward momentum in the movement propels you onward into looking outward once more. As the inner journey is embodied and all is gathered in, encompassed by you, hope is in the blue skies and the green earth, within your roots, your wings, and the living waters. Your higher heart is pulsing to the rhythm of life itself. Let your body dance, your heart sing, as you spiral with creation on this open, outward bound journey towards the center that is home. And of course, I'm seeing it even more now, Pisces new moon in the sign that is connected with the element of water. That is part, of course, of this wonderful message. Val Young's information will be in the details below. Do go and visit her site. She also has a really fabulous Facebook page with almost every day another dragon image, whether it's one of these beautiful cards and all of that. And if you want to know more about how it's all going with what I'm up to in this, send me a note if you like, and we can converse about it later. But what I can tell you is this for tomorrow, the Pisces new moon. Just bear with me one moment. Because any number of you who have been tuning into this last month's video and coming to this one and being curious about what's up with the dragons, etc., is that the opportunity, as Pam Gregory, the woman I often give the link to her particular messages around all things lunar and and so much more. Pam Gregory is a wonderful source of information and inspiration on YouTube, and I'll be making even a more particular message down here. But she tells us of this new moon, other than it's one of 5 straight in a row of the super new moon variety. She reminds us in the video, she always does what's coming up for the new moon, what's coming up for the full moon. And she reminds us in what's happening of this one, that we're coming into further and further in the year 2024, a time that is beyond any previous opportunity for deep transformation and for rebirth. As I remind people, possibly every video, or at least every other one, we were born for these times. We signed up for these times. We're all here for our own soul's journey, but because we have brought gifts with us to share for this time. Certainly, rather a demanding time, but still one full of so much opportunities for our own journey and for finding out what are the gifts that we have brought with us to share. If you go back to the video prior to this, and again, for those who have watched these videos, you already are aware of it, but I wanted to include this for anybody who has not seen previous videos. As we began the calendar year 2024, what my guides made real important mention of is to share with people the exercise that's described in that first video about setting our earth anchor. It's a heck of a chaotic time. There are so many things that buffet us that are around us in our inner lives, our personal lives, and the wider world. If we're going to find the journey to bring the gifts for ourselves and for what it is that we are offering within the groups that are our friends and within our communities, how can we maximize the way in which we live our lives to stay balanced, to stay grounded, and still to enjoy this incredible journey we have here on the earth? So look to see that that is something, if you haven't explored it, what it means to set your earth anchor. When we get into April and talk more about the spring and the return of the growth, because almost all of us are here in the northern hemisphere, spring is just around the corner. The equinox is the week after next. There's so much we can take advantage of. The other thing I work through for myself and with these videos is to remind people of our being children of the earth and how we came here not just for our own individual pursuits, as I've just been reminding ourselves of here, but that we are here as children of the earth and to be celebrating that particular journey as souls in human form on this earth. So as we look for tomorrow's opportunity with the new moon, do take yourselves into a quiet place for an opportunity to work with this energy, set your earth anchor. And if the dragons are being a little shy about showing up, I want to suggest an opportunity to invite them in with the energies of the new moon. If it's something you're intent upon doing, the dragons in particular are enjoying that opportunity to be of delight for us, not just, oh, it's another helper helping to help us dig deeper into what it is we're going to do. The dragons, what I have found, are here to give us a certain joy de vivre. And so look for that. But a way other than in a meditation sort of way is to use an automatic kind of writing in a journal. Find yourself some paper and begin to simply reach out through your writing in terms of, I'm looking for my dragon friends, who is out there seeking me? And you write that question down and see if there's something that, I know there will be something. Sit in quiet, have your journal ready or whatever page you're working on, and send out a question to your dragon. The dragon, there's ones around, they're looking to be a part of your journey. And then in some quiet, you put the question down, begin to just let the message, because there will be one, come through your writing. When I first tried this years ago, I was a little bit doubtful, as much as I am a writer of sorts and have been most of my life. But I was looking for information at that point from a spirit guide. And I am telling you, there was the ready message to come through. When Val worked with these particular dragons, I'm sure she did a similar, query to, I've seen this dragon in my mind, I've done this painting, what is your message to me? And quietly listening for the words that came. So I invite you to indeed see if there is a way to be, and for our dragons who have been kind of tiptoeing around you, this will be the time they'll want to waltz in and to become more in partnership with you. There's certainly all that we can, as they said to me, the one that spoke with me directly years ago when the time I met one out of all places there I was in Paris, The message was, we are coming again to help you, that you need our help. They've been here in other dimensional times of the Earth's journey, and now we need them again. We need all on board to help us move through the work of the transformation of the rebirth of the Earth and of us as resident humans on this beautiful planet. Last but not least, as I bring this to a close without a meditation for you tonight, inviting you to seek one tomorrow, I want to offer another opportunity to do a meditation with others, and that is through Pam Gregory's offering a Sunday meditation that is not one that she leads. There's not a link that she sends out. She simply has established that at UK time of 7 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon, for those of us in the Eastern time zone of the United States and Canada, people stop for 15 minutes and come together in silent meditation. It's in terms of drawing into our hearts to be joined together for the purposes of seeking the whatever it is that we know the world needs. And we're investing in the circle of people that comes, our time and our focus going into our hearts to seek what I have found in the last couple of Sundays is desiring that we bring in and manifest. It's a manifestation meditation, manifesting peace. Now, what I can tell you is that if you don't, and know you won't have time tomorrow at 2 in the afternoon, that would coincide with that. The thing that is eminently true is that linear time is something that is not, it's simply a construct. You can be a part of this, as people are part of this new moon recording, at any time that works for you. So it's joining in, as Pam suggests, and I'm going to put the link to the video below. I feel like I've become far too wordy to explain it to you. But tomorrow, with the extra potential of setting a seed for a new intention for the lunar cycle, as one does on the new moons, it is an incredibly potent time for us to come together in heart and in silent meditation to seek manifestation for the healing and holding of this world. So do listen to her video. It's quite short. She'll tell you more. I apologize for, hopefully, I probably rather ham-handedly explained it to you, but it is a wonderful opportunity to continue to bring groups of us together to manifest what is needed in this earth at this time. So I will just leave it at that and offer you, one thing just at this point. Okay, I'm going to do this. So one last pause. Because I mentioned just briefly that we are coming up on a very wonderful day in the wheel of the year with the solstices, with the cross-quarter days that go by different names. We had the February the 2nd in Mulk. For a minute, it was trying to disappear out of my head, but I got it. So I'm really pleased with myself tonight. But the equinox is the next celebration of the Earth year, and that it's for us in North America, it is the vernal equinox. And the days, as we already know, living where we do, the days are already getting longer. There is just a possibility, and I thought of one more thing I want to offer to you all. But there are two things here I'd like to offer. One is that I may be doing, so it's kind of a may at this point, we'll see what happens, that I may well record something for the equinox. I've done some in the past, and maybe I will upcycle one of those, we'll just see. But there's so much that can, as I started these videos and I offered them and people came, I knew it wasn't going to be my job to try to explain the astrology of a particular moon or of necessarily other events that we have in the Earth year. It was more to prompt your attention to them, just as I know this is prompting people's attention to the new moons. And again, the new moons, we don't see them, so they kind of vanish out of our awareness. There's so much online, and I didn't necessarily want to become just one other mouth talking to people. I felt that my main task was simply to bring us together in circles to celebrate them. And who doesn't want to have a little celebration now and then? We sometimes get through many days and know we could have used a little bit more light and love. So there's part of what I do. But when it comes to say things like the equinoxes, to know more, if it's still a new topic for you, do some searching online. There's so much available. Sometimes I think it's like an onslaught of all of that. So ask your guides to get to you the things that are of greatest use, greatest value. And just know that you will find what you need in any of those times and occasions. But what I wanted to end with tonight is a very favorite earth-loving person who is not on the earth plane anymore. Her name is Mary Oliver. And I want Mary to offer, I'm going to share Mary's wonderful poem of this time of year, although it could be a poem for the fall too. And that is the poem, Wild Geese. Wild Geese. There have been a lot of them flying over my beautiful Catskill acres in the last week or so. Huge flocks, straight north. And my friend Ruth is here in the call, is reminding us some of the geese don't even bother migrating anymore. But there's still quite a few that like to make the trip. And so it's been this, there isn't a moment that I've heard geese that I don't want to look up and see where they are. And I hope you're also a person, if you live in a place of migrating geese, that you take your time. I want to thank you very much for joining me tonight. I'm going to let Mary see us out. Blessings to all of you virtually in the recording, joining this group. I look forward to our gatherings again in the near future. Oh, there was the other thing. My brain is actually clicking along in here. I'm really kind of happy. If you're not signed up for my newsletter, the information of how to do it is below. It is almost always just once a month. And what it does is, it's called the Lunar and More newsletter. Lunar, Moon, and More. I may have it a little bit backwards there, but it'll help you know when these Zoom gatherings are coming forward and some information around a particular new moon that you might find of help. So with that, Mary Oliver and I will share this poem, Wild Geese, and then I'll bid you now a good night and thanks. You do not have to be good, Mary Oliver tells us. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert, repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. Over and over, announcing your place in the family of things. Blessings to you in this new moon, equinox blessings to you. The world is progressing in ways that are beautiful. Try not to fall in despair. The wild geese are heading home again. Look forward to seeing you again in the future. Any comments of anything that come to you as you watch the videos? Appreciate you sharing them with us in the section below. So with that said, much love and light from Light Spring Glen as the days continue to lengthen and the wild geese are heading home again. Take care. Much love.